Good morning everybody and welcome back to Dylan the Outdoors, and today we're going to be doing some ice fishing. So this morning I checked out a couple different lakes, and this seemed to be the only lake that is relatively safe right now. There's about 5 to 6 inches of ice on this lake here. The other two lakes that I usually fish, they only had about 3 to 4 inches, and the ice didn't look too promising, so it was definitely splotchy in some spots. So I didn't think catching a couple fish was worth the chance of not making it home. So we're gonna play it safe today and try this lake here. I have been out on this lake a couple times so far this year and I didn't catch anything, so that's what was kind of pushing me more so to try the other two lakes. But as I said, they didn't seem as safe, so we're gonna give this lake a try again today, see if maybe things have picked up. Alright, just about lost it there in the parking lot, but we're good. Don't intend on falling today. So, yeah. Whew, the wind is starting to blow, and it is a blizzard out. Wow. Whew. Yeah, like I said, we haven't gotten very much snow yet this year. So, this little amount of snow is actually kind of nice because we had another brown Christmas here in the Cariboo, so, which is very unusual. Growing up here, we always had about a foot of snow during Christmas time, so, but it is what it is. And last year was pretty similar, so. My cat must have left me a surprise in my tent when I wrapped it all up last night, but that's funny. So usually I'll set the tent up completely before I put a peg in, but with these small gusts of wind we're having, I'm going to put a peg in the ice first, so in the event the wind does come up, it doesn't act like a kite and you're blown down the lake. Because I have seen that before, and for the people it happens to, it doesn't look very enjoyable, I can tell you that much. Here we have it. Nice little fortress for the day. So I really like putting down these foam mats for my feet. Even this 1 inch of insulation really helps keep your feet a lot warmer. So a little tip of advice is that when you go to drill your holes, don't sit there and tap your auger on the ice. That dulls the blades and can change the angle of which they cut at, which won't make your day any better. So usually once I'm done, I put the cover back on my blades and I put it back in my sleigh. So the better you treat your auger, the easier it is going to be to cut holes in the ice. So one thing that I've learned is that when ice fishing, comfort is key. So I've sat on buckets before, small little chairs, lawn chairs that you pick up pretty much anywhere, the best option. They're just so much more comfortable, makes it so much more enjoyable. So that's what I've got here today. So the biggest thing with the ice fishing transducer is you just want it just below the ice, and that gives you the most accurate reading because it comes down like a cone. So always make sure that whatever the thickness of your ice is, you kind of go from here to about there. So we're about 5-6 inches, so that should be just about perfect. And we'll turn that on and let's see if anything's swimming around down below. Okay, so this is kind of my go-to for ice fishing for kokanee. Now with kokanee, they're kind of a schooling type of fish, right? So usually if they see something that's flashing or moving, it attracts them. So usually I'll use a different variety of spoons. I just put this one on. I've had good luck with it in the past, so we'll see what that brings us today. And then usually I like to experiment with sizes of leaders. Right now this one's about 24 inches, and I've had luck on that in the past. Usually I'll start out anywhere between 1 foot to 2 feet, whatever's in that range. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm going with this morning. We can always switch it up. It doesn't take too long to, you know, remove a little bit of line and tie a hook. And usually what I like to use is the Kokanee bait corn. So like we have done before, we'll put, you know, 1 piece of corn and 1 dissolving, well, I call them marshmallows. I don't know exactly what they're called, but we're going to put 1 dissolving marshmallow on as well. And like I have mentioned earlier in previous videos, you don't want too much bait. Less is more when it comes to kokanee fishing. You don't necessarily want to scare the fish, so we're just going to put 1 little piece of these guys on there. And that'll kind of dissolve and leave some scent around our hook. The biggest thing with kokanee fishing, I find, all comes down to scent. So there we go. So just a piece of corn and the dissolving marshmallow. And so we're going to throw this down and see what happens. There's still a lot of interference here on my sounder, so I don't like that very much. But we'll see if we can kind of get it to start to clear up. And so another tip that I've learned in the last few years of really getting into fishing is, so for kokanee, the type of rod you want is a light to medium weight rod. Sometimes kokanee nibble, and their bites are very hard to see anyways. So for kokanee, I always use a light medium rod. For fish like burbot and lake trout, I'll use a little bit of a heavier, medium to heavy rod. Okay, so there's a school of kokanee here, and I'm just going to reposition the camera. Here we go. So we're just going to nice easy jigs, and maybe they'll take an interest, maybe not. Doesn't look like it. Nope, so they didn't take it, but that's okay. So the school has come around. That's okay. So we know kind of what depth they're at. So we're just going to kind of stay at this depth. I wasn't ready at all. I was kind of screwing with something in my backpack there, so I wasn't 100% ready for it, and I looked over and I saw the school there. So when you least expect it, you'll see them on the finder too, right? But that's okay. So usually the kokanee, once they're at a certain depth, that's where their feed is, and they'll keep coming back around. So we're just going to keep doing our jigs now. I'm going to start doing a little bit bigger jigs to see if I can attract the fish back over. And yeah, I guess we'll find out. Well, it's been about an hour and a half now since I last saw that group of fish. So I've seen a few here and there, but not too much interest. So I'm actually going to rig this up. I'm going to put a nice little yellow glow hook on, and I'm going to try this spoon right here. Just something different. This is also a glow spoon. But spoons like this work surprisingly well in this lake. And if you're from the Cariboo, just by looking at this spoon, you probably know what lake I'm fishing. Everybody who usually fishes this lake uses this spoon, and usually the results are really good. So yeah, I'm gonna rig this up. I'll pull our line out of the water, and I'll tie this one on. I'm gonna try a different leader length on this one. I might go, that one was about 2 feet. I'm probably gonna go a little bit shorter. I'll probably go about 14 inches, and give that guy a shot. So yeah, let's get that rigged up. So when I'm tying the hook onto my line here, so usually this is kind of my go-to knot. It's just quick and simple. Works really well, nice and strong. So what I'll do is, 1 second here. So you get about 3 or 4 inches. It's kind of difficult when your hands are cold. And then what I'll do is I'll spin this completely 7 times. Now, oops. Like I said, my fingers are cold. There we go. Okay. So then what I'll do is I'll take this tail end and loop it through the hole right by the eye. And so we'll poke that through there, like so. Pull this, and then take this tail and poke it through the other hole that makes. Careful not to lose it. Grab it. Grab the other piece of your line. Uh-oh. What's going on here? There we go. A little bit knotted up there. Okay, now we're good. So now you can grab this tail and give her a pull. And usually, you sometimes have to fight with it. And we'll just get that right down to the eye of the hook. And there you have it, right there. So we'll trim off the excess. Shouldn't be doing that with my teeth, but it's alright. The dentists love me for it. So, so then you take about that much line there. So that's about, I would say that's about 14 inches, and we will cut that. It's okay. The thinner line's a little bit easier to do it with. It's not as hard. This is only about 8 pound test. Yeah, that's what the spool says. So, but like I said, I don't recommend it. Probably shouldn't be doing it. The dentists, they'll love you for it. So, anyways, so now we're gonna do the same thing on our lure. Pull our tail through, and we're gonna spin that 7 to 8 times. And so then the same thing through that loop. Don't lose it. And back through. Give it a nice pull. And there we have it. Okay. So we're nice and tight onto there. Some people have asked me, does it really matter which side? No, not really. I'm pretty sure this is the bottom, so when you pull it up, it'll go up straight, and then when you let it go, it'll flutter. But say if I put it on this side, when I pull it up, then it'll flutter, and when I let it down, it'll kind of just go straight down. So it really doesn't matter. It all depends on what action you want. I find the flutter on the way down works the best, but like I said, it's a personal opinion for me, and some people might think otherwise. So go and trim that guy off, and there we have it. So we will now, oh, piece of line stuck on my lip. There we go. Alright, so we're going to pull up our rod now, or our other lure, and we're going to swap them over quickly. And with my luck, there's going to be fish that come along right as I pull it out of the water. Well, one thing I forgot to do was charge this lure up with my UV flashlight. So you can find these at like any sporting goods store, and usually like you can get these glow spoons. And so what you do is you turn on your UV light and you just hold it to the spoon, and you'll be able to tell right away whether you're charging it up or not, because right now I can see it's starting to glow green. So I'll just hold this on until the whole thing's kind of glowing green, and it kind of holds that charge for a while. It's kind of cool how they work. Sometimes it helps a lot, other times it doesn't. I don't know with that last school of fish if it would have helped at all, but it's going to be worth a try if we can get another school to come through. That might just get their attention just enough for them to come and smell the bait. And that's all that the flasher is doing, is just kind of attracting them so they come and check out what it is. And if they smell the bait, if they decide they like it, then they'll try to take it, right? So yeah, it's all about attraction with the fish. So, but I think that should be pretty good there. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's kind of glowing a little bit. So we'll throw this back down and give it another try. Whew, can't speak today. Alrighty, so not seeing very much. Pretty dead on the sounders, so I'm gonna go ahead and start packing some stuff up here, and then we'll head on back to the truck. So shouldn't take me too long. I've already started kind of sorting things out here, so yeah. Well, we didn't catch any fish, but it is what it is. You know, we tried multiple different things today, different flashers, different bait, and those two schools that came through, it just didn't seem to change anything. So the fish right now, they could have lots and lots of food in the water right now, and they might not just be hungry. They could also just not have been interested at all with whatever I put in front of them. So there's so many different variables, but you know, at least we saw some. At least we were kind of able to start guessing at what we might be able to use for the next school that came around. But all in all, I think it was a good day. You know, I always like coming out, setting up the tent, just hanging out all day. Beautiful weather for it. You know, it was snowing today, and you know, it's a little bit colder out, so it's not all sunny out and melting, which is fantastic. There's nothing worse than dealing with overflow in the ice, right? So, but that just kind of goes to show you guys that not every time that you come out fishing you're guaranteed to catch anything. And I like to think of it that if you have that mindset in thinking that you're gonna come out and catch fish, but you don't go home with any, I think that kind of just ruins it for yourself. So you kind of always have to come out here open-minded and not expecting too much, because at the end of the day, it's a hobby, and if it's something you enjoy, it shouldn't matter whether you go home with fish or not, because I'm always more than happy to just be able to get out. So, but if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment, and subscribe to the channel. And like always, we'll catch you guys in the next one.